needs to ward. Someone needs to walk up and ward. And you get the red buff. No way. What on earth is going on here to start? Hey guys, what is up? Pope Paisano here, back with another VOD review today. Today we're going to be looking at a brand support player from the EUS server. This is played in Silver Elo. And yeah, my boy I burn noobs. And I mean, we're going to see, is he going to burn some noobs or not? He is playing brand. Maybe, actually, are you brand support main? Your name kind of sounds that way. So yeah, you know, playing brand support, I'll shut up if something crazy happens here. There's an evade going on, actually. Let's take a look at this. So Kane gonna face check and have to blow some summoners here, and I guess we can start the coaching right now. Generally, we don't want to be AFK under tower, of course, when we first start the game. You know, let's It is ranked after all, so we want to be ready for the game start, right? Let's get into our jungle and, you know, start helping to watch what's going on. Now, yeah, okay, I'm glad you dropped a ward. I thought you were gonna just face check that yourself. Okay, let's see here, because this is interesting. I don't think we've had a lot of level 1 action yet from a coaching session. So it looks like we're gonna have a 3v3. Kane gets impatient again. You should definitely be up here autoing. Okay, I think, like, you guys can definitely go and fight this. Someone needs to ward. Someone needs to walk up and ward. And you get the red buff. No way. What on earth is going on here to start? That is hilarious. What the heck? Okay. Alright, well, look, let's just pretend like the lane started as normal, because I need to say a few things. Brand support could be very aggressive, right? Into Teemo. Teemo's countered by mages. I want to see you playing super aggressive here. Okay, so we're gonna see already just something I need to point out to you, right? So as we get into lane, we can see that you know, the kind of the second wave has arrived already for both sides, so it's gonna be far less clear as to when people are going to hit level 2, but you do have a kill, right? So I want you, like you and Jin, you're strong, okay? Teemo is not that good level 1. He's okay, but I want you to start getting aggressive here right away. Let's look to drop, you know, W on the MF. You have red buff as well. If Teemo wants to come out and, you know, auto attack you, I want you to trade an auto attack. So here, when he comes out, you need to auto attack him. How Teemo's blind works is if you actually auto attack about the exact same time as he's queuing you, his blind will basically never go through before your auto attack was off. So let's yeah, let's just start getting more aggressive here. Okay, MF is level 2, so we can be a bit more chill here. But, you know, it's kind of rare for me to see brand supports these days, but I do think it's decent, honestly. I think he's just so dependent on landing those spells, right? So again, we're just being too passive right now. We saw that Teemo was level 1, right? You're level 2 because you have that kill, and Jin is just gonna get pounded here. I think, again, you're playing far too passive, and Jin is playing this lane a bit solo here, right? So let me show you an example of what we can start to do to stop the passivity. So they're walking forward, and even if Teemo's coming out, who are they gonna hit, right? They're obviously gonna try to kill the extremely low health Jin. You're basically full HP, you have red buff. I don't want you backing up this way. I actually want you getting even more aggressive in this situation, trying to auto attack the MF, right? Then you can drop your W. I believe you have Q next as well, or you have W and E, okay? So regardless, I guess it doesn't really matter in this situation, but I just want you playing way more aggressively here because it prevents the Jin from taking so much damage, right? And like if you notice, we haven't used yet. So even right here, we have red buff. We want to be using that. We want to be applying that. We have ranged auto attacks. Okay, so even here, when the MF walks up, don't just drop your W. I want you to auto attack first, right? Apply red buff, and then because even as well, that applies to slow, helps you land your abilities. Then you can use E and W, right? So auto attack, apply that slow, then you use your E, then you use your E, and then you use your W, because W is going to deal more damage if the target is, you know, has one of your abilities applied. Or is it all? Yeah, it says it's target ablaze. So if you land your E first, your W will deal more damage. So in that situation, MF could have lost almost all of her HP to you. Okay, so we hit the wave. Again, I would not be concerned about hitting the wave here. Let's go back down to you. I'd be not very concerned about hitting the wave here. I'm concerned about hitting MF, right? Because here's the thing. If we force her to back off, then Jin is going to be able to CS this potentially, right? Or at least get more of it than he is already. So here you throwing your W in the wave, all you're doing is just taking CS from Jin. You're not strong enough yet to clear this wave. I want you to hit MF here. Like walk up, like here you're playing so passive, man. They cannot do anything to you. You're basically full HP. They don't have the abilities to kill you. You're playing behind your turret. I want you like standing right here, not letting this MF attack your tower or attack Jin. Like you should be autoing her down. You have more damage than her at this point in the game, right? And I think that's one thing you're not fully realizing. See, like here, if you got aggressive there, she has to blow sums. She has to blow flash. Imagine if, you know, she walks up and she trades an auto attack on her tower. We gotta be trading back with our abilities, okay? Alright, so let's see here. Okay, so here's something we haven't talked about yet on the channel. And supports, listen up. This is a huge thing I want to see support players doing. As this wave, if you allow it to, I mean, you could try to stand here and hold it, right? Which is personally what I would do. I would try to hold the wave here, wait for this wave to come in, so that the wave isn't crashing on our turret. But if you do let it crash in, we need to start paying attention to the actual minion HP itself, okay? So tower is gonna require 3 full shots. Like if we're talking about a full melee minion, so melee minion, if it's full HP, tower will require 3 hits to kill it. For a caster minion, if it's full HP, tower requires 2 hits to kill it, okay? So what that means basically is for melees that are full, we need tower to hit it times 2, and then the last hit is available, right? For casters, we need tower to hit it times 1 time, and then the last hit needs to be available. Early game, if the tower hits a full HP caster minion twice, an AD carry will have the AD to get the last hit, right? So generally, if a full HP melee is getting hit by the tower, you don't need to touch it, okay, to help your ADC last hit. However, with these, you are going to have to auto attack 1 time. So I'm going to show you the way we should be thinking about this as the wave comes in. So looking at it here, we already know which minion the tower is going to target first, right? Because these two are walking in together. As they get into range, the one that's closer, slightly closer to the tower, will start getting hit. So here, I want you to auto attack this, because by auto attacking this minion, you're gonna put it down a little bit lower, and you're basically going to give the, so that's how much damage basically the minion would take from the tower. You basically want to fill in the rest of the damage as if the minion had already taken 1 tower shot, right? So I hope that kind of makes sense. So in this case, right, we see how it's lost a bit of health, but it's not enough health to equal 1 tower shot. Meaning, this minion is already off center, and it's just going to die to the tower in an awkward way. As a support, we need to be willing to hit these minions in such a way that we put it back on like the standard trajectory of how many times the tower needs to hit it to kill, if that makes sense. Because that means tower will automatically put it in a position for AD carry to last hit. So here we can see, right, it's way too much HP for Jhin just to auto attack once. If we had auto attacked it once, Jhin could probably kill this with an auto and a Q. Maybe just an auto, probably still not quite. This is a very awkward minion. But these are the things I want to think about, right? So this one's approximately half HP. It's very close, very, very close. But I think the tower can hit this minion one time, and Jhin can get the last hit, right? So let's see. Yes, so he gets the last hit. So now here, these ones, we're just ignoring Teemo for now because I'm just discussing this topic. Full HP, the tower's hitting it. But we do not need to auto-attack it because our minions are also hitting it, meaning they will deal that damage for us. However, the tower is going to too quickly target the other two minions, right? For our minions to deal the extra damage that Jhin needs to last hit. So we need to be the one auto-attacking these, okay? Okay, so your abilities kind of mess that up, but really good job at the end of the day. So, yes, I know in that scenario, it was good to hit Teemo, but we're just trying to show, basically, because I just haven't talked about this on the channel yet, we want to be thinking about, as support players, how can we get these minions in a position for our AD carry to kill. So one thing that I actually really like that you did here, that I just want to point out, is you land your damage on Teemo. So Teemo just walks way too far up. You land your damage on Teemo, but you're not too hasty with your Q, right? You know that you can't Q here, and you actually wait for Jin's W to land, and that's what gives you the free Q. Well done. Really, really well done. Very good. So, this is what we're going to do here, right? Now we need a hard shove. So I want you to use your abilities on the wave. Nice. Get your abilities on her. Good flash. Nice. Really good job again. So, recognizing that she just walks too far up, you get your abilities on both her and the wave. Good flash, good Q, and good attempt to leave the kill for your AD carry. Okay, so here, just a bit of another mistake. By the way, with support VODs and jungle VODs, I always focus really early in the game because that's where a lot of mistakes are made. So, okay, here we get the kill. Jhin goes down to minions. Okay, whatever it happens. Alright, so what I want you to do is, I don't actually want you to use abilities on this. Your minions are going to kill this really quick. I'm actually basically, I would last hit the cannon, and then I would already be walking up here to use my abilities on this wave, right? We need to speed run actually pushing this in, okay? So, you using your W here, knowing that this comes in, now you no longer have the ability to shove this wave in very quick, and MF is actually going to come back and have a really favorable wave state, potentially. We'll see what Teemo does, of course, to the wave, but... Okay, so Teemo, so the problem is that Teemo could easily hold this wave, right? Oh my gosh, Teemo's just gonna let this entire wave crash. Wow. Holy moly. So imagine, yeah, like, and of course we can't play results based, we do have to play just correctly overall, right? So you struggling to shove this in meant that Teemo could have just tanked the whole thing. Sure, maybe he would lose 70% of his HP, but he would be able to hold this entire wave right here for Misfortune. She gets all this golden XP. Jhin missed a full wave. It's actually really, really bad for you. Okay, so Teemo's inting. What is it? Bro, this guy's making Teemo supports look really bad. This guy just runs under tower. Okay, sure. Okay, we're gonna base with a lot of gold here. So you have about 2,000 gold already. Let's see what you go ahead and buy. Going towards a demonic, I guess. I'm not a huge fan of this. Like maybe if you're playing against real like crazy tanks or something like that. But you're not. You're playing against squishies, right? So I would really prefer you to be going into a Lost Chapter and, you know, looking towards a Leandri's. Okay, so we're looking for Teemo, but I think we should have just been up there helping with the MF. I think it might work out, though. Okay, we're getting distracted here by Teemo big time. Pink Ward does not reveal Teemo. Which, I don't know. I assume you picked that because you thought it would reveal him, so just so you're aware, it does not reveal Teemo. Okay. So we just got a little bit distracted here. If I just go back a little bit, right? So coming in, I don't want you to get distracted by Teemo here. I want you to just focus the free kill. If you feel like you can't get there, right? How does MF have to walk to tower? She's got to walk this way. So if you walk at an angle like this, even if you're pretty far behind, you will catch her. So I feel like you gave up just a bit too early on that. And yeah, we just get distracted a bit too much by the Teemo. And unfortunately, it's going to go pretty poorly here. Okay. Holy moly. Okay, so we come back to lane. I doubt you really bought anything. Yeah, just an amped home. Teemo's going to surprise us, but I don't think it's going to matter at all. Big ulti from Diana. This game is absolutely ridiculous with how many kills there are. Honestly, this might have to be a part 1 and part 2. Like, well, I guess we'll see. You know, early game and then late game as well. But yeah, we'll see. Okay, so we're trying to shove in the wave. Good damage. Good try. I like that. I think you're actually good at using Brand's abilities themselves. Maybe just getting distracted a little bit and not prioritizing the right things is mainly what I'm seeing so far. Okay. So Teemo's low. Good wave clear now. We have the damage too. This Teemo, holy, this guy is... Did you pay this guy, by the way? Like, is this a PayPal situation and then you sent this VOD in? Oh, I'm thinking you're going for Demonic, you're going for Rylai's, of course. Okay. I don't mind the Rylai's Rush, actually. I think it's a really good item on Brand. But in this situation, I will say this. I think Rylai's Rush is really good if you're a little bit behind, I guess, or if you're even. But in this situation, you're putting a lot of your gold, like you're 5-0, right? You're putting a huge amount of gold into something that's only giving you 75 AP and a bit of a slow, right? Imagine if you had Leandri's here. You'd be absolutely unstoppable. You'd completely bulldoze this game. Okay, so ooh, you could have pulled the trigger there. Let's see. Okay, and Teemo's gonna get hit by this, and he's gonna get revealed. Oh, not quite. Okay, so right here, we definitely hesitated. I think you could have pulled the trigger right there. But overall, good job. I think it's pretty much impossible to know. Okay. Alright, I mean, it is what it is. I think you played it fine for the information that you had. Obviously, we do have to be curious about where Teemo is. You know, the other thing I'll say is, like, funny enough, this fight was actually a Leandri's diff. Okay, this guy's gonna int as well. I guess it's not inting too much. He does pick up your shutdown. So that fight that you just had here, where you actually die to Misfortune, where you died to Misfortune right around here, is that's a difference in the fact that you have Rylai's and not Leandri's. If you have Leandri's Torment, she's straight up dead so much faster there, and there's a really good chance that Jhin just doesn't die, right? Think about it. You got every ability off on her, and it still took that long to kill her when you're this ahead, right? So, again, I do want you to be starting to think about Leandri's potentially. I'm sure you build it next, but just some things to consider. Okay, so I'm kind of curious how we treat this. We do roam here, which is really good, but we're caught in an awkward spot. So I think this is a bit of a... Alright. So this is just a bit of a... The reason why I said I'm curious how we play this is because these weird skirmishes are tough, right? Especially when the enemy team is kind of caught in the middle of like 2 and 1. I mean, I know there's Diana up here and she should definitely be coming down. But the problem with this is, like, if we actually go to blue team vision, we can see Syndra go up here. We have to remember, right? Like, it's basically object permanence, right? If she walks up here, do you think that she's just leaving? Like, probably not. I'm sure she's hanging out in here looking for something, right? So, you know, it's just a matter of basically being aware of who can still be there, and we do get caught out, unfortunately. Thankfully, our team does win the fight, so this fight is a bit of a team diff, but we don't want to make these fights hard on our team, right? We got to be aware of who and what abilities are the biggest priority to avoid. Teemo's going to try to run here. Diana's going to start fighting. She's going to go down. Teemo doesn't go down. Bit of a disaster, actually, with how all this ended. Not good. Okay. So going back to you here, looks like you came out of base and we kind of ran through the jungle, which is totally fine. You do pick up your boots. You do pick up that lost chapter. So you're very strong right now. Okay. Okay, good. We start going to dragon. Drop our ulti. I mean, okay, I don't hate the way you played this, but I think it could have been done maybe a little bit better here. So as we walk out, right, our ability priority is our W, okay? As we can see people get pulled together here, that's when I'm actually thinking of just using my WR and then using my other abilities later, because we do generally want to be looking for the free W and then the free R. But I think you walk in and you just instantly cast your R, which it's not like the worst thing in the world, but this could just be so much cleaner, right? Drop our W, we get that damage, then we drop R, which is in itself dealing more damage, right? If they're, excuse me, it's slowing them more. So in general, I'm not thinking about just walking in, dropping my R first. We're gonna auto attack Teemo down. Okay. Okay, so I'm curious here. So you do have wards up. Okay, so just another thing for support players. After we get this, we're thinking about running mid because we want to cut off the Yorick. Okay, great. But our camera should be basically up here the whole time and asking ourselves, is Yorick gonna go down? The answer is no, right? He just put up his wall thing. Jin's never catching this. Kayn is never killing this. So Yorick is going to get out scot-free, right? He's going to get all the way through here. Totally fine. You are way too far to interact with any of this. Does Jin need you here? No, absolutely not. And so I talk about tempo a whole lot in these videos, right? 1 kill equals 1 tempo, right? 1 kill equals 1 tempo. That basically means that every time you get a kill or a group of kills, you get to pick certain actions based on how much time you have before the enemy team is back out on the map. In this case, 10 seconds, 16 seconds, 10 seconds, you definitely have time to choose something very quick, okay? Because you have a ward, what I would have done simply is this, right? I would have walked in here, drop a ward so that you can see both these camps, and then I would go straight bottom, seeing that Yorick cannot be killed, and then I would just shove this in, right? And then I would base. That would be basically perfect amount of time. And the reason why I say that is because we can see this wave state, right? We could see this from the mini map that we had more minions than the enemies. And so what's going to happen here, unfortunately, is this is now going to slow push in, and whatever you guys are doing here, you're now going to base and come out to a poor wave state, basically guaranteed. But if you dropped a ward, come down and just use everything, shove this out as fast as you can, even if you miss the minions, like who cares? We just need to reset this wave state. These are the ways that, as support, we want to be thinking, right? So York does end up getting caught because he's a dummy, and I don't think he didn't really try very hard to get away, so fine. But now all of this is all overstay, right? Now all that tempo that we got from the dragon fight is just being kind of wasted by walking through here and our teammates coming up here and dying. I'm just looking for you, again, as a support player, to start taking more control. Let's start pinging. Let's start looking at their death timers. How much time do we have until we can base, right? These are the things that we definitely got to be thinking about. And as well, if we look at the gold, right, you have 1,300. This is far too much gold to be still spending on the map. And you're in trouble here, big time. Yeah. So you do get a kill. I mean, you have a lot of damage, but at the end of the day, I would consider this a loss because you are the one that's ahead. If you trade 1 for 1, it's not good. It is not good, right? We gotta again identify death timers. How long are they dead for? What can I do in that time, right? Things like warding and wave states are two of the biggest things. Okay, especially if there's no objective up. Warding and wave states. Okay. Okay, so we're still working on our items. Haven't completed any mythic item yet. So what is going on here? Okay, so you just start the objective. I mean, I'm not like I like that you're focusing on an objective here. In this scenario, let's see, when you start it. So I don't mind that when you actually start the Herald. That's totally fine with me. But after we can start to see how this is developing and our Jin's running away and they're kind of running at him, I think you just have way too much damage. You can definitely sneak up here and look for a fight. Always better to do an objective after a one fight, right? So we can see all this going on. I think if you had stopped the Herald and you had walked through here, it would have been actually a free double kill, 100%. 150%. This is very sketchy, right? Because the thing is, like, who's to say that by you focusing on this, your team doesn't lose the fight, which they did, and then Jarvan doesn't come and take the camp from you. It's very possible. So again, something I talk about very often is just making the high percentage play. In that situation, the high percentage play is going to the fight that's happening directly above you with the amount of damage and just how far ahead you are, right? Okay, let's see here. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. I think maybe there's some pathing issues here. So, okay, we get caught, whatever. We drop our abilities and then we flash away. Okay, great. But here we're still like we're walking straight towards the Jarvan, Okay, we gotta identify that this is no longer a threat because Diana is on her. She needs to save her own life. So I would just walk back this way a little bit. It's okay, right? If this is the safe zone where no one can hit you, stay in the safe zone. You can just walk back and forth and cast your abilities as need be and then adjust that on the fly, right? So here, I mean, it just looks really, really funny. You're in a bit of a tough situation, but, you know, I want you to just be thinking about, like, who can hit me in what position. You know, another thing that I don't see many players do is click really close to themselves. So if I'm Kane, right, you want to be clicking like this. You want to be clicking really close to where his actual character is. Because if you're clicking close to yourself, that means that you are going to be able to just control your movements a lot more precisely. But just sometimes the way you're walking, it appears to me like you're clicking very far away. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Whoa. Holy moly. Did you duo with Trick 2G or what's going on? Holy moly. Alright. Okay, we come out of base and then we go and shove. I like this type of stuff as support because no one is picking up this wave. If no one is picking up a wave as support, man, go, like, just go shove that wave. Like, I'm serious, right? Like, laners might get a bit upset at me saying that, but, like, no one is here to take this. We're not just gonna leave it and wait for the enemy minions to take that. Go and shove that wave in, man. I like it. Okay, obviously, again, just some... So, this is kind of the story of your game, right? You are very good at using your spells, okay? Maybe a few tweaks here and there, but overall, you use Brand's spells really, really well. However, the big issue that I see from you is that we're not thinking about the bigger picture of the game, right? So, yes, you come out and you shove in that wave. That's really good. I like that. You give your team priority, Dragon's up, okay? Mid lane priority with Dragon is really, really important. However, then we go on to make just a really silly mistake in that we just hang out too far up here. We get way too close to the Yorick, right? We're not respecting what he can do, and you do end up dying for it. So imagine, right? You shove this in, and then you just walk back and you just go to Dragon, right? This is how free the game can really be. You would be here helping your team. You would have had mid lane priority. It would have been all good. And now you can go mid again after. So I would say almost all your deaths this game are very, very preventable. And many of them are just, you know, not being aware of who can kill you and basically what type of and how much damage everyone has around you. Okay, so we're running out. We do pick up that Leandri's. So now you're very strong. You have a lot of good items on Bran. I don't mind you trying to help there, but again, we just get a bit too close here, right? Like, we just have to think, can anyone get on top of me and kill me? MF, obviously no. You're standing outside of her ult range, that's perfect, right? Yorick, we have to be careful. Like, if Yorick walks around here and starts walking this way, we have to be careful of him throwing his E on us. Jarvan can absolutely get on top of you, right? And I don't know if you had your camera on him, if you knew that you just used EQ, but he does, if we click on him, right, he does pretty much have it up right away. And, I mean, you get very lucky that he doesn't land that EQ on you. So again, so far what I'm prescribing for you is continue to use those abilities well, but try to think about enemy champions a bit more, right? What abilities do you have to prioritize to dodge? What can kill you? From what range? How much damage do they have? You know, and that sometimes means pressing tab a lot so that we're aware of people's item spikes and the sort. Okay. So we do die again. I mean, like, so far right now, I guess I would say you probably deserve to lose, like I would say as of right now. And I just say that because you I don't think you've converted your lead well enough, and sometimes you do good things, and sometimes, you know, I think we just get caught in silly things. So this right here, this is a great way to convert the item power that you have. You come out and you're like, hey, their jungler's dead, their top lane's dead. We actually see their misfortune bottom lane. We can do Baron. So this is fantastic. This is fantastic. This is the type of stuff that means you deserve to win. So I just want to see more of like this confidence, this aggression when we are in a position where it makes sense, right? We had all the information to tell us it makes sense. No one would be around to kill us there or take the Baron. Okay. So Dragon is spawning somewhat soon. Looks like we do get a pick onto. So, okay. I mean, for those of you watching, I think we can, you know, we can see a pattern here, and it's not about trying to make our friend I Burn Noobs feel bad, but again, just walks too close here, guys. We can see it firsthand. Just walks too close. Yes, he puts out 1 billion damage, which is great, but at the end of the day, this is how we lose games rather than carry games. We have the Baron, but we again just walk up far too close and we lose our life over it. Okay, I'm just gonna speed it up here. Okay, we're sitting in base for really long here. Why are we sitting in base so long? So we spawn at 6:51 and we don't leave base until 10 seconds later. Maybe you were trying to purchase an item. Okay, now we're a bit AFK. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay. So we go a little bit AFK for a second, but now we're back. Okay, good W. Alright. This is really sketch. Okay, you do get him. So I just want to see how we play this again, watching your ability usage. So I actually really like how you cast W. You cast in such a way where they are walking into it. Of course, Misfortune flashes into it, which really helps, but even she would be walking up this way. That is how we want to use our spells. Now let me see how you decide to use... Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think you played this. I think you played it fine. Again, like your ability usage is actually good. I would say that's the strength of you as a player. So now, again, I'm really curious to see what you do with this wave. So we're gonna base here. So this is generally, and again, I only say this because you're playing Brand. If you're playing Janna or something like that, this is just impossible. But after you catch this wave, generally speaking, we want to catch one, right? We want to catch one wave, which is the wave we arrive at that's already there, and then we want to push one, right? So we can see that they're all dead. Let's use our tempo here in order to shove the next wave. It does not take very long whatsoever. Your Brand, you have so much damage. Okay, let's look for a shove on the next wave, basically. And like what that would do, right? So you shove out this wave. So now you're basing, and the thing is, you're doing this because no one on your team can pick up this wave, right? It's just gonna die to the other minions. But imagine if you walked up, you killed this wave, and now your wave is walking all the way up here. You just give your team a lot more priority on the map, and it buys even more tempo because as you base, you're forcing the enemies to go to that position on the map. Okay, catch one. Now I want you to push one, right? We see at least 3 top. Okay? Or was it 4 top? Yeah, we saw 4 top. Okay? Here in this position, catch this wave, shove this wave. Alright? Okay. So we do get surprised by J4 a little bit again. Nice. Again, good ability usage there. Okay, so we're running mid. We're trying to just run around the map and put out fires, and honestly, pretty much all of this is just off of us dying. Nasus is completely saving the game right now. Okay, so Syndra's pushing bottom. Like, the question for me here is, in this exact situation, do we go back to base or do we push, right? I honestly think that we continue to shove here because they're not in nearly the same position to be taking down turrets. You have a Nasus here who is very fed. You can crush these in like a millisecond. Okay. So we know that one is down here. Nasus starts to fight. He's just gonna destroy this guy. Oh, J4 comes and saves the day. I think if you stayed with your Nasus, you would have got that inhibitor, but it's all good. I don't think that's the end of the world. I don't even think it was that clear cut, but it's fine. Okay, Syndra just dies for free. We always love to see it. So yeah, they take Baron, so let's do this ASAP. Alright, big fight's gonna happen here. Ooh. Let's see what we do. Okay, so we cast our R. We missed the Q, unfortunately. Okay. The fight didn't go fantastic, did it, right? So we try to cast our W. We do miss that. And then yeah, all we're really able to get off is the R. It ended up being kind of awkward, right, with the MF ult, so I don't mind how you played it. The only thing I would say here is I'm a bit scared of J4. Again, right, he could easily, if he knows that you're chasing, I think a high-level J4 might be able to try to burst you here. But that's a bit nitpicky. I don't expect you to always realize those types of things, but, you know, just something to point out to maybe keep in mind. Okay. Alright, so we have 1,300 golds. Yeah, we're I assume you're Whoa. Whoa, my friend. My friend, what's going on? Are you like tabbing out sometimes, man? This looks like you're tabbed out to me. Yeah, okay. Like, to be honest, man, if that was leg, then, you know, that's not something you can control, but I honestly think that all 8 of your deaths, maybe 7 of your deaths, were completely preventable this game, and this is what can make games very difficult even when you're ahead, right? You're just giving so much over to the enemy team for completely free. Okay, I'm just speeding it up until you spawn again. Good attempt with the ulti. You do get pushed back. Wow, okay, you end up getting the kill. That's crazy amounts of burn damage. Okay. So run 2200. You're for sure waiting for Rabadons, which I don't mind. You know, one thing I haven't talked about too much this game is your warding has not been excellent. And there might end up being a spot here or there where I can point that out. Okay, so we pop GA. And this guy's gonna go down. Alright, not too shabby. And you're gonna go back to base again. Do we get that Rabadons? We do. Okay. Like, you're massive. You deal infinite damage. See how we play this, because now Dragon's gonna spawn, right? Soul is looking like it's on the menu here. So I don't actually want you to base here. I think they can deal with Misfortune. I want Soul. I want Soul. Okay, so this is where the warding comes into factor, right? So while you're up here and you have a lot of control over this part, right? Even briefly, I want you to drop a ward over the wall here. I want you to drop a ward here. I want you to drop a ward over the wall here, okay? or up here is fine too, or even down here in the river is fine too. Any of these spots, you gotta be getting vision, man. I think this is one of your weaknesses as well. And it's like here you have full wards available. Really good damage. They all walk up like that against a brand. That's crazy. That is an insane amount of damage. Well done. Very, very nice ult. Very, very nice ult, dude. So, like, really, this game, like, your damage is kind of carrying your play. But at the end of the day, there's definitely some of these things, like warding, like tempo usage, like overstaying or getting too close to champions that you can't get close enough to, that ultimately is making this game so difficult. Like, I guess your play seems slightly coin flippy, and I don't even mean that in like a bad way. I'm not trying to, you know, make you feel bad or anything like that. Of course not. What I mean though is, like, if you're only relying on your damage and you don't have a good sense of where you should be, what you should be doing, you know, what enemy champions are a threat to you, you know, these types of things, then games mostly will be a 50-50, right? Because you'll absolutely have games where this kind of damage output won't be available to you, or it just won't happen in the way that you want. So like here, you're just gonna kill Jarvan just because your full build's really insane. Okay, oh, you gotta be careful here. Seeing it, it happens again. It happens again. Definitely gotta work on your spacing, brother. Like here, if this is early game, Kayn has this much HP. It's going to take them a while to kill him. Late game, this Kayn is going to die very quickly, right? You have to be aware of that. So you don't have the luxury of just hanging out here. They will catch you. Okay? So look how fast Kayn just gets melted, like literally a second. And so you stepping back to throw a Q, that's what gets you killed. Well, I guess that sidestep as well. So yeah, you know, we're just relying on our raw stat output, and unfortunately, just relying on that, it's not going to be enough in most cases, and it's looking like the enemy team, I don't think they quite win here, but you know, gets very, very close. So okay, NASA saves the game. You're still dead. Okay, you've spawned. We're down triple inhib, unfortunately. Oh my goodness gracious. What is happening in this game? This game is wild. Okay, so we're not entirely sure what to do here, right? When we're down this much, it gets very, very difficult. Red team gets Baron. So here we want to be setting up more defensive wards. Okay. Okay, we almost found a pick. So here we want to be setting up more defensive wards, right? Okay, and they backdoor you. So in this case, just to point it out, when you have a completely open base, right? You just have all your hibs exposed, or they're all down. You know, we want to be dropping wards out here, right? So that we can see what's going on. So we want to drop wards basically all in this area. So here and over here and in the same space just down here as well. That basically prevents exactly what I was just going to mention, which is that someone may try to, you know, sneak in through here, sneak in through a lane when there is no wave, and try to backdoor. So yeah, but overall, man, I'm just gonna let this play through. I think that your mechanics are your mechanics are definitely the best part of your play, but I really need to see you start to work on just being more aware of what the enemy champions can do to you, right? Yorick's trap or Jarvan's EQ, you're getting caught by these things way too many times throughout the game. And you guys crushed your lane, you know? Like, that Teemo gave you so much gold early that as a brand player, we need to be able to convert that, yes, into raw damage, but also into being self-sustained in such a way that we can actually take more of a load of the burden of this game, right? So you're just not allowing yourself to be the carry because you're playing too loosey goosey, I guess you could say. You're getting too close to people. We're not using our tempos super well. So again, I'm just gonna say two things that I want you to take away from this: ward more and think about where those wards are going, and as well, you know, start to think about enemy champion range and what their engage tools are. How can they get on top of you, especially as a brand? You're so immobile, right? But overall, well done. I think you have the tools where you can climb. I think mechanics are a big part of that. Champ mastery is a big part of that. And it's just time to start to put some of the other pieces together. So guys, if you enjoyed this VOD review, I have a lot more coming. Would really appreciate a like and a sub. Pope out.